What's going on, guys? Shane here, another Fight Tips quick tip. So today we're talking about the 5 most common injuries in mixed martial arts, how to prevent them, or should they happen, how to treat them. Alright, so first up on the list is fractures, broken bones. The most commonly broken bone that you're going to see in boxing and MMA are broken orbital bones around the eye, broken noses, ribs if you take a powerful kick, or even if you block the kick. The bones in your forearm, the ulna and the radius, are absolutely susceptible to fractures if it's a powerful kick at the right angle, or the wrong angle if it's you blocking the kick. Absolutely, these can break. Other common bones are the clavicle. The collarbone is the most commonly broken bone in the human body. So if you get picked up and slammed on your side, or even take a direct hit from an elbow or an axe kick, this bone is easy to break. All right, so be careful of that. How do you prevent these fractures from happening? Well, don't take any direct hits. Even blocking, when you think about that, you want to roll with the block, right? You don't want pressure coming this way and your pressure going this way, because something bad could happen. All right, so work your evasions, work your elusive footwork, slips, pulls, and stuff like that. But also have a good diet. All right, make sure that you're getting vitamin D, which is 10 minutes in the sun every day, direct sunlight, and calcium, of course. Avoiding heavy drinking and smoking cigarettes, because these have been known to cause weak bones. All right. If they do happen, how to treat them: you may need a cast. A lot of bones, if they're still in alignment, will heal themselves, but just to play it safe, you want to see a professional. Probably get casted, and it'll be a couple weeks before it's fully healed. All right, next on the list, knee injuries, but I'm also going to tie in shoulder injuries and elbow injuries, the major joints that there is a lot of pressure and put at weird angles as a fighter. Now, when you think about someone like Dominic Cruz, who has a ton of knee injuries, it makes you wonder how this happened. A lot of people assume it's from low leg kicks, right? And I think, of course, it's a factor, but it's not only that. Fighters train just like all other athletes. They do a little bit of everything. They do swimming, they do jumping, they do running. And baseball players, football players, soccer players suffer a lot of knee injuries, ACLs, MCLs, PCL injuries, from running in a direction, sprinting, and then quickly changing directions. And all that pressure on the knee is what tears it. So as a fighter, you're not only taking kicks to the leg, but guys are shooting in for penetration shots. That's directly a direct pressure on the knee. And they're also doing sprints and running and changing directions. So all of this together is, and this is the same for shoulder and elbows too, right? Throwing big punches, blocking, constant pressure, and then you're also doing weights and explosive clap push-ups and stuff like that. So how do you prevent this from happening? Well, you need to listen to your body, and this is where the term prehab comes into play. This is gaining popularity more and more. It's pretty much mobility training, all right? Working the muscles also around these areas to make sure that they're strengthened, and they take care of the elbows, the shoulders, the knees, the lower back, the areas that are often injured, all right? So you want to do stuff like Hindu push-ups, one of my favorite. You want to do reverse delt flies with light weight. You want to do single leg, straight leg deadlifts, all right? Things that are going to work the muscles in that area without overworking them, and then mobility training, so when you're doing these weird angles and changing directions, it's not too much pressure on your joints. All right, should you tear an ACL or something like that, you may need surgery and then they go through rehab. So you want to make sure that you prevent this from happening, because if this is a serious injury, and you'll be out for a long time. All right. Next up on the list are hand injuries. Not only fractures, like a boxing fracture is a very common one from throwing a punch and hitting someone in the head, let's say, right? Very strong bone is the skull, and you have all these small bones in your hand. You smash that against something hard, even with MMA gloves on, you could suffer fractures in your hand. Not only that, but I personally have experience with ligament injuries, and this to me is even worse, because you're always using your hands, right? So whether I'm drawing or brushing my teeth or catching something, these ligaments are always being worked, but you really need to just let them rest. So it's very difficult. So how to prevent this? Make sure that you're wrapping your hands and putting gloves on if you're hitting the heavy bag, if you're hitting mitts, if you're sparring, because a lot of injuries do happen in training, not just in the fight. And then if it does happen, if it's a severe enough injury, you may have to get a cast. You may have to go to physical therapy, which is what I did. We did a bunch of different exercises to re-heal my hand. Ultrasound as well. So it took about 2 months before I was back throwing punches on the heavy bag. So again, try to prevent it. Make sure that you're wrapping your hands. Don't be lazy in that area. Next up is cuts. Now this is probably the least devastating, because it's superficial, right? The worst that you'll have to get is stitches, maybe some staples. But areas like the cheek, the brow, the nose, They're hard bones with soft skin in between, so a punch, an elbow, a knee, or a kick can split you open and end the fight as well, right? So you want to make sure that you're exercising good defense, blocks, and then again, evasions, because you can't condition your skin, all right? If you get caught with a good enough shot, it's going to split open. So try to prevent that by not getting hit. Easier said than done. And number 5, probably the most important, most severe, is concussions. All right, trauma to the head from kicks, knees, elbows, punches, not only in a fight, but also in training. All right, a lot of these injuries do happen in training, so train smart. All right, a lot of these guys will train hard, and we're seeing these stupid videos now of guys, you know, putting their hands behind their back and their trainer just punching them in the face. You're losing brain cells and you're rattling your brain around. Now you're probably more susceptible to knockouts instead of trying to condition your jaw. All right, also you don't want to do too much hard sparring. If you have experience, if you know not to flinch and turn away, then just start working on systematic sparring, light sparring, all right? Keep your eyes fresh, work your precision, your accuracy, setting up combos and working your strategies, but you don't have to beat each other up, right? Because if you, what a concussion is when your brain smacks against your skull and then it starts to swell, right? If that swelling doesn't go down before your fight, well then you're absolutely gonna be more susceptible to a knockout. Talked about this with Firas Zahabi when we did a video together, who's GSP's coach, and he said if his fighters suffer a knockout, he won't have them watch TV, listen to loud music, even be in like direct light, because you want to think of it like a broken bone or a muscle injury. You don't want to be lifting up heavy boxes if you have a broken arm, right? You want to rest that until it's 100%. Especially you need to do that with your brain, the most important muscle you have, right? So if someone gets knocked out in a fight, they have a 45-day suspension, which is a minimum, right? The reason why they do that, why they enforce that, is because they don't want them back in the cage getting hit again. They want their brain to heal. But during that time, you shouldn't be sparring either, right? Do low-intensity stuff like swimming, yoga, and things like that. All right, guys, a little bit of a long video here today, a lot of information. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to follow me on Twitter to get in contact with me. I seem to check that more than everything else. Instagram for behind-the-scenes stuff and my workouts, and I'm on Twitch now. All right, so follow me on there if you're a gamer. It's Shane Faison, and then I do a combo of the day on Snapchat. So I'm on all the social media platforms. I'm trying. All right, guys. Until next time, I'm Shane with Fight Tips. Self-defense for the underdogs.